for inviting me to be part of the wonderful initiative that you've taken with the community. I think in an age where everyone's digital presence defines their personal brand, and that being at its core focus of how different businesses ventures are being perceived by your audiences, your potential clients, I think that is the main core focus today. And I would absolutely encourage everyone, if you have any questions regarding how to grow your LinkedIn, how do you optimize it, I welcome all of the questions today. Prior to the question Q&A, I'll do a quick introduction about myself. Hi everyone, I am Drishti. I am an entrepreneur from India, from the northeastern region of India. I come from the state of Assam. We are very, very famous for our tea, where we have the second largest industry when it comes to tea globally. And we also have the one horned rhinoceros. And I have been an entrepreneur for the past 5 years. Technically, I'm an engineer, but I never did any core engineering job. Was always the kind of students who had a lot of questions, and that is how my whole entrepreneurial journey started back in 2019 when I was in my third year of college. I launched my first startup, which is in the sector of upskilling. Coming from India, we have about more than 40 million people when it comes to the semi skilled industry. And we saw a huge skill gap that needed to be addressed. That is where my first startup, Quick High, started off. We started working for the upskilling of the blue collared workforce, and it's been 5 years of running that company. And I also have an export firm where we work particularly with agricultural commodities from the northeastern region of India as well as other region of India, and we export to mostly South Asian countries and Europe primarily. I also serve as one of the directors of on the India Bangladesh Chamber of Commerce, which is one of the trade recognized bodies that facilitates trade between India and Bangladesh. As well as I also volunteer with the Global Shapers community, which is a youth led voluntary organization under the World Economic Forum. You might have heard about the community. We have about 500 hubs globally and a lot of hubs active across Africa. Shreya, I just had to share that. Wonderful, wonderful shapers across. So, talking about LinkedIn, my whole journey with LinkedIn content creation started back when I was in college. As a student, I was also very particular about how I wanted to build my personal brand, because I think at the back of my head, when I wanted to become an entrepreneur, I wanted to ensure that how my personal brand and identity was being put on LinkedIn, given it was a professional platform where either you could be, an employer or the on the other section of employee. So my intention to start the LinkedIn journey was not to seek jobs, but to establish my digital presence as an entrepreneur, and how do I build those network connects, which is when I also attended one of the LinkedIn growth workshops back in 2020, and have been extensively working with founders in this space of, again, sector agnostic, to help build their personal brand on their content strategy and growth optimization. So coming to the critical elements when it comes to working on LinkedIn growth strategy is number one is optimizing your account, which I have already noticed that Shay has already shared details of optimizing an account on the WhatsApp group, and I have been seeing a lot of updates from all of you about you optimizing your account. It starts from as basic as having a high resolution proper display photo for your profile, and as well as a cover picture which also directly reflects the industry that you're associated with, and a proper detailed highlight of your featured work of the industry that you're associated with, and also an elaborate about section which should also have certain keywords which can work as the search optimization that brings back people into your account whenever they search a particular industry or a particular keyword. Say for example, if today I am associated with the export sector or the upskilling industry, I should have those certain keywords on my LinkedIn profiles header section as well as about section, so that it becomes easier for people to look me up. Second, and the most important part is about the first, second, and the third degree connections that you have on your account. Most people don't realize when they first initially start their LinkedIn growth journey is, whenever you get a connection request on your account, you tend to get all of those people into your account, irrespective of which industry that they belong to. But what it does is, for example, today, if I am a person in the field of entrepreneurship talking particularly about growth and strategy and the upskilling sector, and if I am starting to get more software developers, particularly, or people who work in the IT domain, into my first degree connections, every time I put out a content related to the industry that I'm working on, I would not be getting the interaction that I'm hoping, or not even the amount of engagement that I'm hoping, not because the content is not optimized or the post is not optimized, but the people who are my immediate first degree connections, they do not relate to it, first of all. And LinkedIn also works in a way, how people are viewing your content, or whether or not they're interacting enough, so that that again sort of displays into other people's account as well, for them to discover about the content that you're posting. So it is very crucial to understand how are you incorporating your first degree, second degree, and third degree connections in your account, which you also have an option of curating your profile section in a way that, you can just have the follow option visible on the account, and people can go and have the connect option if they go further into your account and connect to you. So you can have the follow button as the primary button on your account rather than the connection button. That way it really really helps. Which is this is just the basic of optimizing your account. And once you are done with your header, your about section, your featured section, as well as the skills, the education, any certifications that you need to add, your profile is optimized, and then you need to create a proper content strategy. Now, what does preparing a content strategy mean? Again, you need to identify your industry, and most importantly, identifying whether you're an employee, you're seeking a job, or you are someone who is wanting to hire people. Based on that, you create certain strategies. How frequently are you posting in your account, as well as how frequently are you also interacting with different people in your account, because that also plays a huge role in how your account engagement is currently performing on the platform. So rather than you posting a content online and hoping that people will come and engage, will not fetch you enough views if you are just starting off your LinkedIn growth journey. It is extremely crucial for you. It is as easy as going through and browsing Instagram Reels. So you can just take out, even if you have a very busy schedule, I would suggest, ideally, people go through their LinkedIn when they're opening their social media. They're just getting to their emails early in the morning, especially between 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. is the perfect time to post. And in the evening around 6 to 8 p.m. is the perfect time, because that is when there's a certain surge in the number of users on LinkedIn. So if you post during these optimized timing, is when you are expected to get higher number of viewers on your post. And taking out just the 15 minutes per day where you are interacting with different people only in your domain of either expertise or your interest, commenting on people posts. And also, one of the most important point is also joining certain LinkedIn groups. Now, these could be private groups or public groups where you have people of your area of interest or a specific industry. And how do you sort of establish yourself as either could be a thought leader or an expert in your area of interest, or your domain, or the industry that you're associated with? And those LinkedIn groups also add more credibility into your account, because people are regularly interacting versus how they sort of interact in the regular post that goes out on your account. And with the recent feature that LinkedIn has also rolled out is, nowadays they've also incorporated video content, which a lot of creators are also exploring. So that is also a great way to boost your account. But first of all, the top three methods that I would suggest is: one would be optimizing your account, two would be curating a proper content strategy that works the best for you. It could be different for different people based on the industry and who you are in that particular industry. And third is also exploring the new video feature that also sort of enables more people to interact better with your account. So this is overall as to how you can optimize your account, curate content strategy. And if you have any questions, I'm open to taking any questions right now. And yeah, hoping for an interactive session.
Thank you, Drishti. Thanks. So yes, if you have any questions, please just raise up your hand, and then just to keep it orderly, raise up your hand, and then we'll go for it. Luis, please go ahead, as always.
Thank you very much. Good. It's afternoon where I am, so good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon.
So, you mentioned first, second, and third connections. I know that I have seen, like, when you're trying to maybe connect with somebody, you see first, just by their name. I don't know which, so I tried to Google it, but I didn't understand what Google was telling me. Which is better or which is closer? Is it your third connection or your first connection? Which is closer to home? Thank you very much.
Okay. So maybe we can take three questions at once, Shay, and then I'll do one by one. Just
Okay,
taking
all right,
notes.
then, that's fine. Andrea, please go ahead.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, SKP. Thank you, Drishti, for the opener. Regarding commenting, okay, actually, sorry, I kind of had two questions. I know I'm being an Oliver Twist here. Regarding commenting on people's posts, what I don't know how to ask this question, but basically, how do you comment that makes an impact? Is it just giving a point of view? Is it just saying thank you for sharing, or this was insightful? What is your goal behind the commenting? That's point one. And then you raised a very valuable around LinkedIn group, because it was something I was actually thinking about. That I was going to ask during this session, should I be looking at LinkedIn groups? So fantastic that you mentioned it. How do you then find LinkedIn groups that maybe are relevant? Are there any tricks to finding groups, any tools, anything out there in finding the kind of groups that, for instance, tailored specifically to the kind of area that one will be looking at? Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, so let's quickly take Joy. Her hand is also up. So you take those questions and then wait for the next set of people. Joy, please go ahead. My Joy. Joy, you have the floor. Go ahead. Okay, maybe she's not ready yet. Please go ahead and answer those questions. We'll come back to Joy.
Sure. I'll start with the first question from Louis. I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly.
Luis.
Louis.
The name is actually Lois. Sorry.
Okay, sorry.
Lois.
Lois with an N. It's like saying noise, but with an L.
Okay.
Right. Okay. So your question was regarding which is more important, your first degree or your second degree connection. For that, I'll have to, just so that everyone is on the same page, I'll quickly walk you through about who are the first and the secondary degree connections, right? The first degree connections are people that you're directly connected to, right? You can send a request, you can talk to them through messages, you can view their entire profile if it's not private. And it also indicates right next to their name that a first, it shows when you visit their profile, it shows first, which basically indicates that it is a first degree connection with your account. And the second degree connection, for example, if people who are connected to your first degree but not directly to you but are mutual to your first degree connection, that is your second degree connection. And you can eventually send them a request, or based on whether it's a whatever privacy setting that account has. You can send them an email if you have the LinkedIn Premium account. Then again, the second degree appears right next to their name. And third degree is basically people who are connected to your second degree connection, but not directly to you. Now, talking about who is more important, your first degree or your second degree, obviously the first degree connection is more important, and you should always curate your account in a way that where the first degree connection are from the people of your industry, because that will reflect on how people are interacting with your post, or people that you eventually want to have as could be potential clients or potential people that you want to eventually talk to as your first degree connection. But however, the second degree connection, you can actually, by strategically connecting with your second degree connection, you can access their network. So if someone is also not directly connected to you but is connected to your first degree connection, that mutual network you are able to explore further. And this will also be relevant to the question, second question, that was regarding LinkedIn group, is exploring second degree connection is crucial, because when have you are able to strategically explore the second degree connection, you're seeing how your first degree connection is interacting with certain posts or certain groups, if those particular groups are public, and you can explore it further. So that is one way of exploring LinkedIn groups. I hope I have answered the first question. Let me know if you have any follow-ups to that. So first degree connection is crucial, and second degree connection is crucial to identify how your first degree is interacting with different groups, different posts. Now, second, in order to identify LinkedIn groups, is if you go on LinkedIn on the search option, you can put certain keywords, which could be industry specific, which could be location specific, which could be people specific. So if you put a particular word, say I am putting somewhere something about product manager today, you will also have options about different filters that you can put regarding location, people who are first degree, second degree connection. And in that way you can also explore different LinkedIn groups. However, if certain groups are private, you won't be able to access it. People usually send you a request to be part of those communities. However, but otherwise, if there are public LinkedIn groups that are available, you can always look them up using the search button and identifying keywords which is specific to the industry. So in that way you can recognize and identify these different public LinkedIn groups.
Okay, fantastic, Drishti. One of the things I try to do during this Q&A events is to show them practically what you're talking about. So I'll just share my screen now and then just do a walkthrough on how you can search for groups.
Yeah.
Just let me know if I'm getting it right. But I think so. So you go to, so let's assume this is your LinkedIn profile. I know you're a risk management person, Andrea, so let's just type risk management. And then you click on enter. You see this place. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, so you see where you have groups here?
Yep.
You just click on it, and then it gives you all the groups on risk management, and then you can explore and see whichever. You see that there's so many groups.
Okay.
So that's how, really, if you're searching for anything on LinkedIn, I'll say that's the way to go. Once you type in, you now have people, posts, jobs, products, groups, courses, companies, schools, you get, and you can search based on whatever it is that you're looking for.
Okay, great. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, any other questions? Please raise up your hand. Joy, are you with us now?
Yes, ma'am, I am with you now. I apologize for the other time. I was actually talking, but I was connected to my Bluetooth speaker and I didn't know. All right. So yes, my question is, okay, so in building your personal brand, I mean, one thing I've learned from the mail that I received from Mrs. Oluwaseyi is how that, and also from what Mrs. Drishti has also said, is consistency, right? You have to keep putting up posts consistently, whether they're engagement posts or thought leadership posts or posts to introduce yourself. So I just wanted to ask, what are I mean, especially the write-up Mrs. Oluwaseyi sent actually gave us examples of things you can do, what should be in your post. So I just wanted to ask because in writing, some people can just goof or just put some things that are not necessary or some things that should not be there. So I just wanted to ask, while you're writing or while you are creating your post, what are the things that you should look out for? What are the things that should not be there? What are the things you should avoid so that even if it's not perfect, your post is close to.
Okay, all right. Any other questions that we might have before I answer this?
So far, no.
That's the
And
question.
we just have a few minutes left, actually. So that's.
So I don't, I'm not sure if the question I asked previously around comments, the objective of commenting.
Oh, yeah. Yes. So sorry, I missed that question. I'll answer the comment question first and come to the LinkedIn post creation. So when it comes to commenting, obviously, again, in the age of AI, we have so many tools that we can use to interact, and you don't want to be one of that. If you want that human to human connect, and you want people to truly have that, relevance to your account, I would suggest, sometimes you can start it off with as basic as commenting on post about, has been an insightful um, information about whatever they have posted about. You can post questions. I would suggest, rather than posting a generic comment about being just insightful, always just leave it with a question so that the author can reply to you and address that question particularly. And second would be, with a gratitude note that this has been insightful. But I would always suggest to comment with a question on it, because in that way you're also starting a whole new conversation where other people can come and participate, and that way your visibility improves much better. So that is how I would suggest to go about the comment section. Now, talking about the strategy when it comes to curating the LinkedIn growth plan. Ideally, it always takes a 3-month approach if you are completely starting new with your LinkedIn growth strategy, where, the first month you just focus on the foundational activities, optimizing your account, building a consistent content strategy where you start off with introducing. Okay, I'm going to give an example. Say if anybody is an entrepreneur, you start off with a storytelling concept of how you've started your journey. You speak about the industry that you're associated with. You curate it in a way where it not just narrates your story of how you've started your business, but you also have that personal touch of what has been your lessons and learnings along the way, and you identify a particular niche. Since I'm seeing a lot of women in this live session right now, you can choose topic about women in leadership, women in science, women in tech, women in finance, and then, eventually build on top of that. But ideally, having a core strategy behind it where you narrate it in a storytelling concept, so that, don't just highlight in a pointers way where you're just putting out static content, but also incorporate video content time to time where there's more of an interaction with your audience, is the best way to go about it. So the first month you only focused on the foundational activities on your LinkedIn account. Second month onwards is when you properly curate a content calendar that, I'm posting 3 times a week or 2 times a week, with one article that is going up bi-weekly, because article also gives you a way to share in a much more elaborate manner. So I would suggest LinkedIn articles in bi-weekly manner are the perfect way to share larger information with your groups or the audience that you're connecting with. And third months onward is when you establish yourself as a thought leader. You collaborate with people in your network, and you start engaging with a lot of LinkedIn groups. But the first month, foundational activities, second month, content strategy, and third month is you establishing yourself as a thought leader in that industry of the content that you're trying to write. And this is ideally the model that anyone follows, because 3 months is the ideal time that it needs yourself to establish as a LinkedIn creator account. So that is the minimum time that you need. You won't be seeing results instantly in a month or so.
Absolutely. Lois, go ahead and ask the last question. You're welcome, Andrea.
Okay, thank you. Sorry, I dropped it on the comment section, but I'll just say it. So
Okay.
I have a business and it's not on LinkedIn. I'm going to put it on LinkedIn now. But I just wanted to know if there's any insight, any tricks, any tips on like just the way Mrs. Shay is teaching us how to build our personal LinkedIn brand. If there's anything that you can drop on setting up a business LinkedIn. Thank you very much.
Absolutely. Starting off with as basic as creating your LinkedIn business profile, optimizing that profile as well. Um, creating a proper content strategy for your LinkedIn business. You can also create LinkedIn group if that business is in a way where you interact with a lot of community, very similar to how SKP here is, engaged with the community. So that is one way that you can go about it. But there are several other ways. You need to have a proper strategy in place for your business, and you also need to have a proper strategy for your personal brand so that it goes on simultaneously and it does not clash to what you're posting about. And in case any one of you would need help, particularly for your personal brand or your LinkedIn business growth, I'm more than happy to help. I'll share my email ID and my LinkedIn as well for you to go through. Happy to chat on a separate call regarding this.
Thank you very much.
Well, thank you so much, everyone, for joining. A big super thanks to Drishti for taking time. I know this is evening time and this ideally should be family time for you. So I'm super grateful for you just taking off that time to speak with our audience and to help them as they build their personal brands and their LinkedIn page. Thank you so much. I will send the recording to you, right, so that you can also have it. And yes, everyone, I will send the recording. We're recording for the first time. We usually don't record. But we got a lot of requests that they would like the recording. So thank you all and see you tomorrow.
Thank you so